last lesson for time is about measuring and using time intervals. And so we're going to talk about elapsed time. You're going to use clocks and number lines to help you solve these problems. So elapsed time is the amount of time that passes from the start of an activity to the end of an activity. Jared and his family are planning a walking tour of Colonial Williamsburg. Their tour starts at 2 p.m. and ends at 4 p.m. How long does the tour last? So we're going to start with the first way of using a clock to find the elapsed time. And finding the starting time on the clock, we see we have 2 o'clock. And so what we're going to do is count the hours by counting on by ones to 4 p.m. So we start at 2, 1 hour to 3, 2 hours to 4. So from 2 to 4 is 2 hours. So the elapsed time is 2 hours. Another way is to use subtraction to find elapsed time. This only works when you're finding hours. So next year when you get into 4th grade and you're doing elapsed time to the minute, this is not going to be the best way, but I will teach you this way just in case. And so what you're going to do is write the ending time at the top, which was 4, okay? And then the starting time underneath that, which was 2 o'clock. And then you're just going to subtract these two. 4 minus 2 is 2. So that means that there was 2 hours of elapsed time, okay? So the elapsed time is 2 hours. The tour lasts for 2 hours. Great. Moving on, we're going to find ending and starting time. So some problems will give you the beginning time and the end time so that you can find the elapsed time in between that. Some problems are only going to give you the beginning time and how long it took, or the end time and how long it took. So we have to try these types of problems as well. Sophie meets her friends at Virginia Beach at 12 noon. She spends 5 hours paddleboarding and swimming. At what time does Sophie leave the beach? I hope she had her sunscreen on. So we're going to use the clock again to find the ending time. So the starting time on the clock would be 12 noon, okay? This clock does not necessarily show 12 noon, but if we find a starting time on the clock, we can see both of our hands would go straight to 12. It's a little off, but that's okay. And then we would count forward by ones for the elapsed time of 5 hours, okay? I'm not sure why this clock is showing 2:30 when it says 12 noon. So we're going to hop from 12 down to 5. There we go. Okay. So we have 1 hour, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. Okay. And so with 5 hours, we can find the ending time. That means our minute hand stays and our hour hand would come down to the 5 o'clock mark. Okay, so we're counting forwards by 1 for the 5 hours, okay? And so the ending time is 5 o'clock, okay? I can't really get my semicolons there, okay? So from 12 o'clock, 5 hours would give you 5 o'clock. Raven's 4th grade class took a bus on a field trip to Richmond. We all know that is the capital of Virginia. So the trip lasted 4 hours and the bus returned to school at 4:30. What time did the bus leave the school? So this time we're going to use a number line to find the starting time. Okay, so find the time on the number line when the bus returned to the school. So the bus returned here at 4:30. Okay, so we're going to count back on the number line to subtract the elapsed time. Now, The elapsed time is given to us here. It says it lasted 4 hours. So we're going to go back 4 hops. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? And that's going to be hours. Our minutes are not going to change, okay? Because if I were to subtract an hour from 4:30, that would be 3:30, okay? And that's not working very well for me. Let's see, 3, come on, 30. There we go. Subtracting an hour from there would be 2:30. Subtracting an hour from there would give us 1:30. And one more hour subtracted would give us 12. Again, my 3 to do it for bottom 30. Okay, so we jumped back to 12:30, and the bus left school at 12:30. We jumped back 1, okay, 2, 3, 4 hours, which is the elapsed time that it took. Okay? So you can use the clock or you can use the number line to help you. So we're going to do a couple problems together. Use the clock to find the elapsed time of if the starting time is 1 p.m. and the ending time is 5 p.m. So here's our hour for 1, and we're going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. It would be at 5 p.m. If a starting time is at 1:30 p.m. and the elapsed time is 6 hours, we're going to do 6 hops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. This is our ending time. You can count those. At the top. And then what you're going to do is add an hour each time. Remember, 30 minutes does not change if we're adding hours. So this would be 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30 is going to be our answer there. Okay? All right. So ending time, 11 a.m., elapsed time, 3 hours. So we have to go backwards. Again, we can count backwards, okay? And so if our ending time is 11 a.m., I don't know why that's not marking. There we go. We can hop back 1, 2, 3 hours, and we would have started at 8 a.m., okay? We're going to do the elapsed time with subtraction again. And so the elapsed time starting was 4:30 a.m. Remember, that goes as the bottom number. Okay. And the ending time was 10:30 a.m. So 30 minus 30 is 0. And 10 minus 4 is 6. So it was 6 hours long. All right. We're going to do these last two just to get you understanding the elapsed time, and then you can move on to your slides and your hyperdoc. Find the ending or starting time. So the ending time was 11:30. 5 hours were elapsed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. 11:30. Now we have to go backwards. Remember, so 11:30, 10:30, 9:30, 8:30, 7:30, 6:30 is your answer. Okay? And the starting time was 3 a.m., elapsed time 4 hours. So starting at 3, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. And so our ending time would be 7 o'clock. All right. I hope that this helped you understand elapsed time a little bit better and you can move on to your slides.